nothing to do with Venezuela. But well, their narrative, that's the narrative that they have. No one believes them. They also do not need for someone to believe them. They don't need this. But well, they have to justify what they're doing in a way. So that's their rejection. Our people is currently mobilized in peace, in calm, but above all sending a clear message to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. These people and the people of Trinidad and Tobago are brothers. No matter who's currently governing Trinidad, that lady, her term will come to an end, and Trinidad, Tobago, and Venezuela will continue to be there. No one can tear them apart. These two people are brotherly people. From Amacuro, you can see the lights of Trinidad. We are very close, very, very close. Throughout history, we have had trade relations, family relationships. As a matter of fact, most of the people in Trinidad and Tobago have Spanish names. Of the cities, look that up if you want. They have Spanish name. And there is close relations with all the peoples in the Venezuelan coast. But well, this lady, who is drunker with power, is calling for death sentences for her own people when they go out and fish. Venezuela to date has taken some decisions. The vice president today already announced some of them. And well, it is on us as a sovereign state to defend our sovereignty, because sovereignty is not only a territory. Sovereignty is not only the territory. Sovereignty goes beyond the territory. There are other components. The president commemorated the 13 years of the 13th anniversary of the strike at the helm in the commune La Pastora, and he welcomed the ambassador of Cuba and Lebanon. Welcome all of you, delegations from all these diplomatic missions. On Monday, the delivery of works that has to do with the public consultations began. So throughout Venezuela was at the Ezequiel Zamora Military School together with students of that school.
An emblematic place. The Darius Viva Hall was the comuna de Big Topo that is coming from La Guaira to here. We entered there once, and there was a very, very narrow road. And Commander Chavez asked, what is beyond there? And he entered, and people received it with love, huge love. And today it is another touristic comuna. So it is Venezuela-like. We are in peace, working every day for peace. Peace for all Venezuelans. If there is any question, I really appreciate it. Good afternoon. We are asking, initiating with Elene. Good afternoon for everybody. Lula united with Donald Trump, and he asked to work as a mediator between Venezuela and USA. How do you receive this proposal? What is the analysis that the party is giving to the role of the Catholic Church that hasn't pronounced about the killings in the Caribbean? Thanks, Helen. Well, I think that the whole world, when I say the whole world, I am referring to the majority, of course, are saying, rejecting due to the threats that are over Venezuela and the Caribbean people are done from USA. Threats. Threat that has some victims. There are dead people which are accused, alleged accused that nobody has. Because one of these attacks, there was an alive person, a survivor, and they sent them back to Colombia and Ecuador. I don't understand that. Nobody understands that. How is it that you send a bomb to a boat that is carrying drugs, and there are two survivors from the ones who were, instead of judging them, they take them back to their territories? That is very strange. Very strange. I think that they had not a good cause, the lawyer said, to accuse them. In spite of, for instance, the Ecuadorian citizen was before he was in prison in USA for trafficking drugs. It caused the attention. If Lula is worried, it is okay. But if he thinks that this conflict is only limited to Venezuela, he's not reading very well the real story. He's not reading very well the real story. Look, all days we receive appliance. People from other parts of the world that want to come here to defend Venezuela. It could be a continental fight and beyond. And it's very well for Lula to get worried about it. We are neighbors. It is good, yes. I agree. To raise his voice, not to say yes, sir. To raise his voice to defend our America, to defend the big homeland. It is the biggest country in this region, but we are the right ones. According to, it's not the Catholic Church, it is the ruling ecclesiastic, because the Catholic Church is also people, the believers, and they have done a praise journey. It is the hierarchy, the ones that lead the conference. There is a communication from the Antilles rejecting the aggression attempts against Venezuela. The ones from here, they say nothing, because someone told that when these bombs are coming, are only for Chavez people. It is only to Chavez people. They think that they have a divine power and nothing is going to happen to them. They believe in that. But it's the ruling ecclesiastic, headed by the chiefs of the Catholic Church here in Venezuela that know nothing about what is happening down with the people. They are divorced totally with the people, accused to they were accused for infant abuse and to keep silence about it. That is not new. Let's remember where were them on April 11. Who was the first one who signed the decree on April 11? Remember who were the ones who were waiting for Chavez in the commandant, in the headquarters of the army? Who were the ones who tell Chavez he had to leave? The same ones. They have not changed. They are the same ones. Who elected them? I don't know. Because they do not make elections over there. I don't like to touch this topic because they think that I have something against them. I have nothing against them. But from their position, they should at least be neutral. At least be neutral. They tried, they attempting to sabotage the act of the canonization in Rome and here. But the people's faith could more than their bad intentions that have a coat on, but deep inside their interests are aligned to the interests of the imperialism. We have seen during years acting, and always it is the same way. The day when Orlando Figuera was burned alive. Fire. Look, seek internet if this ecclesiastic hierarchy say anything against this act. Say, if you find something, let me know, because I have never seen it. That is the same behavior of the pseudo leader of the opposition from today and from that epoch. They never said anything about that act, that event. Never they condemned that event. Well, they are Catholic. They go to mass, in lunch, breakfast, and supper. And at night time they applaud invasion against their own country. They don't care about the dead one. That was what Chavez said. They don't care about the dead people on the street. Thank you very much, Yolanda. On Venezuela television, Melanie Castillo. They are forwarding the projects. There is a new journey and the collective governance through this. Following the aggression of USA, how do you categorize the killing of fishermen from Guyana, Colombia, and Trinidad and Tobago? Then Leopoldo Lisa says that he agrees and he backed an aggression against Venezuela. And he said also that it is illegal to retire his citizenship, that it is against the Constitution. Thank you. Let me start for the last part. Article 130 from this Constitution. This article was developed by the National Assembly, and Simón Bolívar law was approved. On the Article 130, Venezuelans have the duty to honor and defend the country, to protect the sovereignty, the nationality, the integrity, the self-determination, and the interests of the nation. And 131 said that all people have the duty to follow the rules of this Constitution. The first thing you have to do is to feel Venezuela, to love this country. He has taken the initiation to begin this process. Leopoldo has longer, he hasn't been Venezuela. Nobody has taken away his right to be Venezuela in the world. But he has said publicly to enroll in an enemy army against his country. When he asking for an invasion against his country, to what army is he rolling up? Enlisting in his homeland army or in the invader army? On consequence, his nationality corresponds to the army of the invading force, not the Venezuelan army. This has jurisdiction in many places. Many places. The spies. Asking USA what happens to a U.S. citizen discovered being a spy against the USA. Ask. In here, we are taking away his nationality. What happens there? What happens there? What he's taking away? Or we have to say till the last who calls an invasion, aggression against this country will be treated as an enemy of the homeland, with everything it means. And he will see what he does. If he cries, yells. Tomorrow he will be a candidate to the Nobel Prize of Peace. If he have money, he can buy it. Those the way they are. They do not assume their position. They do not assume it. That's why Chavez goes out of sight, a boy, when he said, I assume the responsibility of this military movement. A boy, he was 37 years. A young guy. 36 years. Correctly, 36. That's why he goes beyond because of his bigness. He's not a traitor to the country. And traitors are treated as traitors. If they cry, cry. We are not going to stop because of that. The one who wants to solidarize with him, go ahead and ask for invasion too. That's their problem. The killings. Well, the whole world is looking at how many people they are killing without no trial. We are not going to defend a narco-trafficking. No. We are defending life. The life of any human being. Whenever we have done something, when we have captured, look, we capture in 3 months, 2 months and a half maybe, 30 drug tons from people who were taking drug from Maracaibo Lake. We kill none. We kill nobody. There were more than 200 detained in that operation, and we kill none. And we seized 30 tons of drugs. But the best job was done was destroying their logistic route. But well, this is their narration. And with that, they kill. I was commanded why they do not judge these two citizens against them in USA. They said that it was not a good case according to the lawyers. The popular consultation, all the power for our people, we have seen in peace, in tranquility. We have given some new works. We assume the consultation with the youngster. We assume it and we start. What happens in the neighborhoods, communities, is an extraordinary thing. I went to La Guaira these days, to Cayaca. It is beautiful. I recommend you to go there. Go there. It is a beauty. A beauty. In that zone, they produce more than 25% of vegetables that are that come to the Great Caracas. More than 25%. Good people, farmers, a beautiful people. Go there. They don't go there. They don't like. They don't like to go. And they have seen a first defense lines that they are going to appear from any hole, machete in mano, in hand. They are going to appear. And when they say those people defended the country, what they have in hand, their tools, the working tools, organized. Oh my God. Oh my God. In the popular consultation, it is the organized people. Around any consultation, we have 5,536, but the president says we're going to 6,000 in January. From the 27th, solidified in a whole territory. And if each of these places and nothing happens, that is forgotten. But you see projects, the quadrangles of peace, militia, everything that moves according to the microeconomy. It is a force. That's why we're going to support them. On the 23rd of November, the United Socialist Party of Venezuela is invited all the people to participate in that journey. And the third question is from Madeleine Garcia from teleSUR. Hola. USA has following the maximum pressure and is campaigning with a psychological operation. According to them, it's an imminent attack. They say that they are going to impose the government. It's going to advance. Is it a possibility that you have analyzed what will happen in that case? They are looking for a change of regime, and it's not going to happen. What could satisfy USA to stop that willing? Lately, in last communicate, when for the capture of a group of mercenaries from the CIA, determining that it was a false flag through Trinidad waters or here in Venezuela. If we can say something to further information about it. As a minister. Well, I am a secretary of the United Socialist Party of Venezuela. This is a very psychological operation. But remember where it's coming from. Since they came with this story about the Aragua train and the Solis cartel, the president was the first one who said, they are behind an operation of regime, change of regime operation. Now, nobody denies it. Nobody denies it. Why not? Why they can't deny it? Because the arguments they used to at the beginning, they do not exist. They don't have argument. The only thing that is on the table is the change of regime. The aggression to change the regime. But it is not going to be easy for them or for anyone. What could satisfy USA to stop? They were the ones who started, not us. What I can assure is that Venezuelans, today is 27, October 27, we smell as Christmas. The baseball, look what I have in here. It came flying and landed over here. And landed here. And when I realized tiburones La Guaira, I didn't know where the shark from La Guaira. This country lives in peace, and the revolution works for peace and the tranquility of all Venezuelans. All of us, any political color. What is this true? It is something that is not new whenever there is a situation of this kind, what you call maximum pressure. It is like a submarine. When it is more pressure, the screws goes out. They are trader screws to our homeland. That's some desperate that thinks it's gonna be right now, and with a bomb, everybody's gonna run away. You know, that is a character that is not from my love for nothing, because everyone who interferes gains my despise. Toy Stories said that a change of regime in Venezuela is not going to bring peace. It would be worse. That is not a lie. Hillary Clinton, they are lying and say some declaration where was born this Chavez man, this Chavez government. We live in peace in this country. Leave us alone. It is an aggression, of course. What they are doing together with Trinidad to provoke, denouncing this communication, captures, mercenaries captured. They were coming here. I was coming here, and they informed about 3 persons that they captured in another place with CIA manuals, and they erased from their phone because they think that deleting from their phone everything disappeared. No, these phones speak. They speak. I'm going to send to the cloud to say, in the clouds they know they are if they think about it. And we have found is pure gold, CIA, linked to sectors of those who hate Venezuela. The President gave order us more than 3 months ago, before all this happened, because maybe he smelled it and he said that the security was a transversal axis. All these times were transversal times by security and defending the homeland. All days we are working, doing what is due to us to avoid any harm to Venezuelan people, because the one who set a bomb in a place doesn't know who's gonna be killed, who's gonna be hurt. He doesn't know, because anyone can cross. Even a relative of him who sends a bomb against Venezuela is going to, he knows he's going to be hurt, someone, but no who. Missiles against Venezuela, rockets against Venezuela, who they are going to kill, how many people are they going to kill? That's why we say that bombs, they not only kill Chavez people, and also it obliges us to ask for peace, always, to work for peace. Peace is the most esteemed concept for Venezuelans. It is repeated from 2 or 3 years ago. People speak about peace. Why? Because people know where we are coming from. These people want Guarim or something like that. Everybody wants to work in peace. And it will be like this in this country. The hallacas come very soon, and they will be received. And 26 is coming, and will come the 10th of January, and they will begin with the story. And they were saying that it's in Carnival, no, in Carnival. Carnival is sure. No, not for Holy Thursday. And they are in their dreams. Venezuela is every day going to be stronger, every day more sovereign, every day more independent. Thank you very much to all of you. From here, from the United Socialist Party, from Venezuela, receive a hug, big hug. And remember that whatsoever happens, we will win.
Well, we were watching live statements, a press conference of the United Socialist Party of Venezuela. His first secretary, Diosdado, was referring to the main topics of interest in the latest context of Venezuelan reality, which is, of course, the U.S. military threats and the complicity of Trinidad and Tobago in these actions trying to destabilize the region and to escalate war in the Caribbean. The secretary of the United Socialist Party was clear that Venezuela will continue to work for the peace that all Venezuelans want. They want to continue to work peacefully, to continue to progress and develop to a most prosperous future and to achieve a well-being that benefits all Venezuelans no matter where they stand in the political spectrum. And they also confirmed that they were going to continue working to preserve that peace. All the security agencies, all the authorities involved will continue to work to ensure that the sovereignty of Venezuela is protected and respected. Stay tuned with teleSUR for more updates.